No, really, there was an approval election about a year ago, and your poll had about the same number, and I won the election. And I think that's the only approval really that works in a democracy for me. I was in a tough election and kind of a rough year to run if you were a Democrat in the Midwest, and we did win with a basic message of we have to invest in education, we have to make sure that we have good jobs for the now and the future, and we have to have an honest government. And I think since I've been governor, we've cleaned up the corruption. We've passed tough ethics laws. We've worked on getting our economy back on track. This is a never-ending struggle. And then it's very important to deal with these budget situations. So you have to have a governor in tough times who just hangs in there and does the important things that the people want.
Governor, you mentioned tax credits for poor. How much will that package be worth?
We're not finished with that, but basically the one we did before was had a tremendous dividend. I can't remember the exact number of the investment we made in edge tax credits to help Ford bring the Explorer here. Essentially, we'd like to see a third shift. At one time, when I became governor, they had one shift at Ford, and we worked closely with the company. I went out there in September of 2009. They told me, if you really work hard, you have a fighting chance to get a second shift with the Explorer. And so that's what we did. And now we have a chance to get a third shift, and that would be another package we'd put together. It isn't finished yet, but I imagine that it'll be pay tremendous dividends in terms of economic growth.
Do you have a package for CME or for the Board of Exchange?
I visited with the CME. I know Bill Brodsky over at the Chicago Board of Options Exchange. We're interested definitely in working with them. It's important that we continue to work. It would require some action by the legislature, anything that they're interested in. So that could happen in the veto session or sometime early in next year.
Are they willing to wait that long till May, maybe even next fall?
Well, I think you got to understand it. Illinois is a very good state to do business. My journey to China and Japan, just in Japan, let's take that country, which is a very developed economy. Their two leading pharmaceutical companies are headquartered in the United States in Illinois, Takeda and Astellas. Another company, JCL, which is a medical testing company, is coming to our state because of that. We have not only Mitsubishi, but another company called Nippon Shiro that makes railroad cars, moving from Wisconsin to Illinois to do business. The reason we're, I think, a strong state is our work ethic and our hardworking, well-qualified, well-skilled men and women in our workforce. They're the heart and soul of the Illinois economy. So I think that for those who are doomsayers and complainers, naysayers, look at the record. Last year, our state led the Midwest in job creation. Sure hope we do it again. And we're going to do it with businesses like Allcell and like Tammy's business. The job creators oftentimes are not big names, but they're smaller companies and smaller institutions that take care of people. What might be little people, young children, and who need good child care, or it might be a fellow who started at IIT in their incubator program. Now he's here in a garage on the southwest side. Take a look at what Steve Jobs did not too long ago in America. And I think that is really what we're aiming for in Illinois. We have a culture of great institutions of education. We must have access to credit for entrepreneurs, and they'll make things happen today and tomorrow.
Governor, were you pushed directly for during the veto session for action on the unpaid bills, perhaps even reviving the borrowing idea?
Yeah. Every time I hear the word borrowing, I like to say the word restructuring. The money is already owed. When I became governor, the state owed about $10 billion, that was accumulated prior to my arrival. Well, we'd like to pay all that off. And we had a plan that we got enacted in January of this year that provided for 1/2 of 1% of the income tax to be dedicated to restructuring the debt we owe so that we could pay it off right away. If we want to help our economy in Illinois, one shot in the arm would be to pay all the businesses and institutions that are owed money by the end of the year. If we can get the legislature to adopt that in the fall, that's what we'll do. We can do it rather quickly, certainly within the year. And I'm committed to that. That's proper public finance. And there's a lot of politics in it. There are people going around saying we shouldn't borrow more money. We're not talking about borrowing another $8 or $10 billion. We're talking about taking the existing debt, restructuring it. The state will bear the burden over a period of time and pay the vendors promptly. And that helps them keep jobs and add new jobs. Yeah, I'm definitely committed to that. I think it's a prudent way to go. I think it's the best way to go for the economy and for our public finance. It's indispensable.
Switching to gaming real quick, President Cullerton said that he would be open to lowering the overall number of gaming positions, but still keeping the same number of casinos. Is that a middle ground that you could sign on to?
Well, I've seen a bunch of ideas from President Cullerton. I certainly respect, and I was at his mom's wake over the weekend. We just reading about his mother and the great things she did for Illinois and for our country. A mother of 9 children who have all been very successful. I really commend the Cullerton family. I think there's a lot of ideas. Frankly, it should start with shoring up the regulation and oversight of gambling. I don't think you can go anywhere in this country or this world, and if you say the word Chicago and gambling, a lot of people don't live here, take a deep breath. You know, they're worried about, oversight, and so am I. We want to make sure that things are done right. So I think that's a key part of the equation. Clearly, you cannot have oversaturation of gambling in our state or in this metropolitan area. You can't have too many entities running casinos. You can't have a casino in every street corner. And so I think there are too many positions, and I think that's something that has to be addressed. Also, the whole idea of this gambling, whether it's the lottery or casino gambling, is to help some good cause, hopefully, and the cause I think that all of us believe in is education. And so I don't feel that the bill I've read through over the last several months properly invests in education in Illinois. And so it needs to be shored up there. And so we'll be talking about specifics. I wanted to make sure everyone who had an opinion gave it to me over the last 3 months, and this month we'll lay out principles, I think, that'll be good for the legislature to listen to.